Achieving one of the precious 53 slots has been their dream since they can remember. The opportunity comes now. To make an impression, prove they belong, and earn the privilege to become a Denver Bronco.
Broncos and Cardinals are playing the preseason finale for the 12th time in the last 14 years. Don't sweat it. It's 105 degrees outside in Glendale, Arizona. Nice and cool and calm if you are secure on the roster. If you're not, might be a little hot and sweaty inside University of Phoenix Stadium as well. Cardinals look to complete the perfect preseason. They're 3-0. The Broncos come in at 1-2. Hi, everybody. Good evening. I'm Steve Levy along with my partner, Brian Greasy. We'll hear from Rod Mackey shortly. The third preseason game really could not have gone any better. The Broncos have to feel excellent where they are right now with the first-team offense and defense.
Really, the last two games, they've done really well. All the starters have played well against the Bears and the Redskins, but particularly the big question coming into the season was the offense. And against the Redskins in particular, I thought they were outstanding. They had 8 drives in the last 2 games. 5 of them ended in points, so right where they want to be.
As for everybody else, right, this is crunch time. We are 48 hours away from 1,000-plus players on NFL rosters right now being sent to hit the streets and look for a job. Is Joseph Jones one of them? He said, quote, "For me, I feel like I'm on that line where I can make it or break it based on what this game, tonight's game, does for me."
And that's this game today is about 8 to 12 guys that are playing the most important game of their life. They're playing for their careers, and inside linebackers are a great example. You got 3 players in Anderson, Jones, and Bierria, all fighting for 2 spots behind Brandon Marshall and Todd Davis, the starters at inside linebacker. That's not the only battle going on. Safety is another one. We're going to see Steve Cravens for the first time in a Broncos uniform. He has to show this coaching staff that he's ready. But DeMonte Thomas, all he did last week was play a whale of a game against the Redskins. And Shamarko Thomas is another great example of a great special teams player that has a chance to make this roster.
Broncos made a bit of a splash, made some news this week. The artist formerly known as Pac-Man, Adam Jones, is in the house, and he's one player, could take 2 spots though, Grease.
No question. And Vance Joseph, John Elway figured it out, right? He can play that nickel spot and give him some insurance at corner, but also return punts. And Isaiah McKenzie is on notice now. You see this competition between McKenzie, Adam Jones, and then River Craycraft, another guy we haven't really talked a whole lot about, but has outplayed McKenzie at the receiver spot. The question is, can he contribute as a punt returner?
Oh, don't forget there's one more battle for you, Grease.
I love it. I love it. The tight ends, the big guys. There's 4 guys competing for 1 spot. Now, Troy Fumagalli's probably going to end up going on IRs, but between Traylor, Parker, and Lacoste, all 3 of those guys battling to be behind Jake Hireman and Jake Butt.
Lots of decisions to be made likely tonight. The man making them will be John Elway and company. John will join us tonight in the booth during the game. You've heard of Last Chance U. This is Last Chance Professional Football. It's the Broncos and the Cardinals. Preseason finale is next. September 9th is just around the corner when the Seattle Seahawks come to Denver for real. Tonight, the Broncos preseason finale against the Cardinals. We made some news in the open, Grease. We did not touch on the quarterback position.
Love it.
Especially the backup position. We will let Rod Mackey handle that news. Rod.
Steve, Brian, thank you. How many quarterbacks will the Broncos keep? That's a big question surrounding tonight's preseason finale. Chad Kelly, with a solid performance tonight, can pretty much lock up that backup position, which puts Paxton Lynch right on the Broncos bubble. The former #1 pick hoping to be the #3 QB. Will this be Paxton's last game as a Bronco? The best thing Lynch could do, according to Vance Joseph, is to make that decision difficult. Joseph said Paxton played well against the Bears and Redskins, but you got to believe he'll need to be even better tonight if he hopes to continue to call Colorado home. Back up to you guys.
Rod, thank you. Tonight's keys to the game are brought to you by your Rocky Mountain Honda dealers.
Yeah, we're talking with Vance Joseph last night. It was all about making plays, making good decisions, and then if you do those 2 things, you'll make the team. And he's excited about the opportunity. No, he was a bubble player. When he was an NFL player, he was on the bubble, so he knows what it's like for these 12 or 15 guys. The nerves playing in this kind of a game, trying to save your career, he understands it.
Adam Jones is back deep. He'll get the first crack at the opening kickoff, something Vance Joseph was not in favor of. But apparently Adam pleaded his case and won. BJ told us he was okay with punt returning, but kickoff returning is a bit of a different animal there.
Yeah, you can bet that Vance is hoping that this ball goes out of the end zone. You don't go out and sign Adam Jones and then give him an opportunity to run up back a kickoff into 11 guys screaming down the field.
This man craves contact. He's 34 years old. He'll turn 35 next year. A 12-year NFL veteran. And man, were his teammates excited about having him.
He just adds a level of insurance that they really needed. And, you know, Vance said, listen, he's practiced well this week. He was surprised, frankly, at how well Adam is running and covering. Still has that ability at 35 years old. We'll see what he has on kickoff return here.
That's the rookie Matt McCrane, apparently still in a battle here with Phil Dawson for the kicking spot. McCrane will put it in the air and see if Adam Jones gets a crack here. And he will, of course, from 2 yards deep in his own end zone. Little spin move, and he's out to about the 20-yard line. And Chris Campbell made the special team stop. It's a 22-yard kick return for Adam Jones.
There you go. Get the butterflies out, right? Your first action as a Denver Bronco, and give way to Chad Kelly, who last week versus Washington was excellent. 7 of 11. He was efficient outside of one play, Steve. There was one play where he was outside the pocket, could have run out of bounds, and decided to try to flip the ball inside, which was a mistake. You got to learn from those situations.
D'Angelo Henderson is the setback. And on first down, it is Henderson, the ball carrier, trying the left side off the sides. And it's a loss of 1 on the play. Tonight's starting lineups are brought to you by your Colorado GMC dealers. That's not what it'll look like September the 9th against Seattle.
No, you're not going to see any of the starters tonight. But I think Billy Turner, probably out of this front 5, is the one to keep an eye on. He's probably their 6th offensive lineman. D'Angelo Henderson, as you see, gets the start. Obviously, Tim Patrick has turned heads in camp, along with River Craycraft. Both of those guys need big games tonight.
It's Brian Parker in a slot. Here's Henderson trying the right side, picking some holes and spinning down. Nice run, gain of 8 out to the 28-yard line. Alec James made the stop, the rookie out of Wisconsin. You know, your starting lineup for the Cardinals, and again, resting most of their starters as well.
Absolutely, and you see right off the bat, 2 nice runs from D'Angelo Henderson. I think him getting the start tonight tells you that Philip Lindsay's made this football team. They got to figure out between D'Angelo Henderson and Dave Williams who's going to make this team, and good start for D'Angelo.
3rd down and 3. Chad Kelly all by himself in the backfield. Looking left for the quick throw, and able to complete to River Craycraft. He's got the first down. It's a gain of 12 as he slammed out of bounds.
Good throw there from Chad Kelly. Gets herself a completion. It's a nice pick play there. Brian Parker, the tight end, runs the pick. And that's why River Craycraft was so wide open. Nice job executing on 3rd and short.
You get the sense with Chad Kelly, I don't know if he has to play great tonight to keep his spot. He needs to play well and avoid the one bad play you spoke of, and I think the job is his.
Needs to be smart. That's the big thing. Play smart.
1st down and 10. Kelly will hand off right back to D'Angelo Henderson. So he's gone left, he's gone right, and this time up the middle for 7. Jaquez Smith made the stop.
Get nice push up front in the middle of this offensive line. Sam Jones, number 70. We haven't seen a whole lot of him. He's been hurt in camp. He's a rookie out of Arizona State, a 6th-round draft pick that this coaching staff is really excited about. He's going to play just about the entire game, Steve, so we'll get a good look at him.
And we should point out that Ron Leary, while he won't play, he's good to go. Had a good week of practice, and he will be, as of this second, good to go for the opener. And that starting offensive line will be intact. 2nd and short. I would have taken a shot there, but here's Henderson, and he's got 1st down yardage. So early on, it's the D'Angelo Henderson show. Gain of 7 there, and this offensive line getting a good push.
Yeah, Billy Turner that time from his right tackle spot, coming down on a combo block and getting that push up front. Turner's a 5th-year player out of North Dakota State. Look at him just push back. Potty right there Creates a nice hole for D'Angelo Henderson. You know, Turner and Elijah Wilkinson, those two guys are really going to be your reserves along with Max Garcia. That's your 8 offensive linemen as I see it right now for the Broncos.
Versatility the key there if you're not going to start. They faked Dave Williams, and the pass to Jordan Leslie is complete. He's out beyond the 40. It's a nice gain of 7. Fake the run, make the pass.
See a really nice decision there from Tim Patrick, the wide receiver. He was in position to get a block, and it looked like it was going to be a block in the back. You'll see it on the right side of your screen, but he pulled up at the last moment. Right here he comes right there, and he just pulled up enough. That's smart. You know, coaches look at those things. When you're in a bad position, what do? What kind of decision do you make? And Tim Patrick has made those correct decisions all camp.
2nd and 3 now. Handed off to Dave Williams, who is fighting for some kind of job on some roster or squad, and it's a gain of 4 there. Dietrich Nichols makes the stop.
You know, David Williams is a good football player, and you talk with the Bronco coaching staff, and they'll tell you that they think he has the best feet on the team. And we've just seen D'Angelo Henderson and how good his feet are, but they're really excited about David Williams. The thing with him is, can they trust him in pass protection? So that's going to be his hurdle in the next 48 hours to make the team.
Rookie out of Arkansas. Broncos spent a 7th-round pick on him. Another first down. Impressive first drive by this Broncos second-team offense. It's Williams again for 3.
This is the area of the field here where I would love to see run the ball really well on this drive. A little bit of play action. They already have 1 touchdown pass to tight end Matt Lacoste this preseason from Chad Kelly. He's a guy that I would target. He's up here in the slot.
Williams still in there to the left of Kelly. Now they'll set him in motion, bottom of your screen. 5 to snap it. Get it off, no problem. Good pocket. Kelly runs up the middle, and he will slide down short of the marker. It's a gain of 4.
This is the biggest difference, right, between college and the NFL. You play quarterback, and you decide to run. In college at Ole Miss, you know, you probably get a first down there, but these guys are a little faster in the NFL.
Hassan Reddick wanted a piece of him for sure.
Watch how fast this closes down. It looks wide open, and then all of a sudden, 2 guys are on me. I'm getting down.
But that's a mature decision by Kelly, too. That shows some growth. D'Angelo Henderson back in there. 10th play of the drive. Kelly to throw for it. Good protection. There'll be a hold, and he'll come back. It is caught. Henderson caught it, had first down yardage, but it's coming back. You can see the hold.
Offense, number 77. 10-yard penalty replay. 3rd down.
Yeah, and that's not on Billy Turner.
No way.
You know, that's on Chad Kelly. Chad Kelly had an open receiver, Jordan Leslie, in the flat. You got to take him when it's there. It was open.
Greg Rolstad is our referee. Hope to not hear from him too often tonight. With all due respect. And those penalties can be drive killers when the first down yardage was there. So here's 3rd and 11. Pushed back to the 36. Henderson, bottom of your screen. Kelly to throw, and it's right into the hands. Intercepted by Jacquez Smith. And he's across midfield. And that is the play we've been talking about from Chad Kelly. Can he avoid that? There is a flag down. 31 yards on the return for Jacquez Smith if it stands.
And you got to understand situations within the game. First drive is 3rd down and 12. It's probably likely you're not going to get a conversion. You got to be smart with the football when you get confused.
There is no foul for illegal low block. The play stands as called. First down, Arizona.
So Arizona knows you're rookie, your first-year quarterback. We're going to heat you up a little bit. They're going to bring some pressure. Here's Smith right here. And he just drops. You're hot, right? You can't block everybody, but you got to see the entire field, and you get a tight end running right into a zone, dropping defensive end, and it's not worth the risk in that situation, and that's knowing situations.
Grease, is that the uh-oh moment for both John Elway and Chad Kelly, that kind of play?
Certainly, that's not a good moment, right? That's not a good moment. Now you'll see how he responds to that adversity.
Mike Glennon will hand it off. It's Sherman Beatty, the rookie out of Tulane, the ball carrier. Mike Glennon will start. Of course, Sam Bradford is healthy. For now, he'll be the opening day starter. Josh Rosen has a banged up thumb. We'll get a healthy dose of Mike Glennon in his 6th year out of NC State. The Cardinals will open up September the 9th. Right here in Glendale with the Washington Redskins in town. On 2nd down and 6, it's Beatty again. And he's very close to first down yardage. It's gain of 7. Tonight's starting lineups brought to you by your Colorado GMC dealers. And that's the offensive line. They are a hurting unit. A.Q. Shipley, their standout center and leader, is gone for the season, a preseason injury.
Yeah, they also had an injury to DJ Foster, the dynamic back from Arizona State. So you're going to see a lot of Chase Edmonds. I think you're going to see a lot of running the football tonight, which is good for the Broncos defense because you want to see where is Zaire Anderson and Josie Jewell, the 2 linebackers that have started this football game against the run.
It's Beatty again. Finds a few on the right side. Zach Kerr made the stop for the Broncos along with Josie Jewell. And the starters tonight, some recognizable names in there, guys you might just see for a half or a quarter.
Yeah, Shelby Harris and Zach Kerr basically could be starters on this football team. Shaq Barrett, Shane Ray, you see, and we talked about the inside backers. Here's where we really need to find something out. Isaac Yadam's got to continue to get better. And then Sua Cravens, number 21, playing defense for the Broncos for the first time.
2nd down and 8. Ball at the Denver 31. And that pass is behind the tight end, but he's still able to make it. Andrew Vollard makes the grab. It's a short gain with heavy pain from Tremaine Brock.
Yeah, nice job, Tremaine Brock. We haven't seen a whole lot out of him. He's been injured in camp, but they're depending on him at that nickel corner position, playing outside, comes up, and you're going to see more and more of this, Steve. These defenders, secondary players going low on defenseless receivers for obvious reasons.
Where else are you going to go?
Yeah.
3rd down and 5. See if the Broncos try to hold the Cardinals to a field goal here. Here's Glennon. Nice touch on that ball, and it is completed. It's Trent Sherfield. First down yardage and then some. It's a gain of 26.
You saw the first nickel. C.J. Smith is playing with the starters tonight, number 28, and he just gets beat on a corner route. Protection is good and an accurate throw from Mike Glennon.
First down and goal now at the Denver 3. That's Beatty to the right of Glennon. Beatty is the ball carrier, and he is knocked backwards. Big stick there by Will Parks. Came up to fill the hole. A gain of 1.
Yeah, Will Parks is going to play a bunch tonight, probably 3 quarters according to Vance Joseph. But he's been a physical presence. He's played that dime linebacker position. He gets the start tonight at safety, and a physical start at that. You got to think he's made this football team, but there's so many other players in that secondary at the safety position that are still battling. Sua Cravens and DeMonte Thomas, we've seen alone, those 2 guys on this drive.
I think Parks has played as much as anyone for the Broncos those first 2 games. He was banged up a little bit. See zeros on the play clock.
Prior to the foul, first charge timeout, Arizona.
Cardinals got the timeout before the delay of game penalty. Arizona knocking on Denver's door. Back in Glendale, Arizona, you know, back in the olden days when Grease was playing, they had 2 cut-down dates. Now they have just one. Vance Joseph in favor.
The full roster intact. It makes it a better game, and you give young guys one more chance to prove they can play for us and play in this league. So, you know, those Week 4 games are now exciting because you have a full roster intact, and guys are playing for the NFL careers.
Yeah, and you have, you know, the health of it too, right? You're not playing your backups for a whole game.
Quick slant inside, touchdown. It's Greg Little on the score, and the Cardinals take the lead. Well, you're right. It is twofold, right? You're trying to protect some more players. It's nice, you know, some of these guys are fighting for jobs, absolutely, but you need bodies to fill out your roster for the fourth game.
No question, no question. Well executed rub route there for the touchdown, but you're right. You know, when you used to cut down to 75 players, you're down 15 players, and now you're playing a whole game, and you're not playing any of your starters. So your backups, who you're depending on, and our core special teams guys, are playing an entire game in the fourth game, and that's why they made the change.
Matt McCrane puts it through, the rookie out of Kansas State, and it's 7-0 Arizona. Do you think it gives players a better opportunity with the earlier cut down, the second cut down date, or they have more opportunity to make their own teams by getting the fourth preseason game?
Yeah, I mean, I think it makes a lot of sense. You know, what doesn't make a lot of sense is playing 4 preseason games. Let's talk about that. But you see the cut down dates, you know, Saturday is the cut, and then they bring back 10 guys. You know, it was interesting talking to VJ yesterday. He said, you know, the 53 is pretty easy. Like, we got a good idea of the 53. What's hard is the 63, is the 10 guys in the practice squad that we're going to bring back. We've had these guys for a month, and it's not like they want to go somewhere else to somebody else's practice squad that they don't know. So really, that's going to be an interesting decision, because those practice squad players, a lot of them end up playing in the course of the season when injuries happen.
As Vance Joseph told us last week, 7 of the 10 practice squad players from a year ago played last season, including the 3 who started games. So that tells you the value. Adam Jones is going to get another crack at this kick return. Had a 22-yard kick return to open the game, and here he is. It's Adam Jones, and he's out to the 25-yard line. Jones is a player who's going to make this team. They did not sign him 1 week and not expect him to make the team. His spot, we believe, is safe.
Oh, and special teams is a big reason why. And tonight's a little bit different, right? How important special teams are. Remember this guy? He was a 6th-round draft pick out of the University of Georgia, and it wasn't until he made this play in Japan,
Terrell Davis,
on that kickoff, that he turned heads of the coaching staff. So that led to an NFL Hall of Fame career, okay? But it started on special teams. That's how important it is tonight.
Special teams in a preseason game.
Yeah.
Good job by our group finding that grainy video. Incomplete pass. Tim Patrick was in the neighborhood. I got to think Chad Kelly is now dealing with, still thinking about the emotion of the interception he threw the last time out there.
Well, don't think that he's being evaluated probably harder right now by John Elway and Billy Musgrave and Vance Joseph than at any other point in his preseason, because they want to see how he responds to this adversity.
Paxton Lynch is rubbing his hands together.
Oh, come on.
Come on, human nature, Grease. You know it. Thinks he's got an opening. Let's see if Dave Williams has an opening on the right side. Stumbles forward for a few. Scooby Wright, second-year player out of Arizona, makes the stop. We come up on 3.5 to play here in the first quarter.
Well, here comes another 3rd down situation, 3rd and long. Last time out on 3rd down, Arizona brought a blitz, dropped a defensive end, and confused Chad Kelly. Will they do something similar here?
3rd down and 7. First drive was an excellent drive until it fell apart at the seams. A couple penalties, and then the pick.
Looks like a blitz look with 2 linebackers right over the center.
And Cardinals drop out of it. They're rushing 4. And it's the underneath to Dave Williams, and he is sent flying into tomorrow. Socked by Zeke Turner, the rookie out of Washington, for a gain of 2.
And a very conservative approach there from Chad Kelly. Protection was excellent. He had an opportunity to push the ball down the field for a 1st down. He got pretty quick to the check down and forces a 4th down punt.
Talking with the coaches, they have not been thrilled by Marquette King yet this preseason. Said he's been better in practices than he has been in these preseason games. Corey Willis is back deep. for the Cardinals at the 19. And there's a special teams play by the Broncos. Joseph Jones, we talked about him in the open. He said one play could make the difference. He knows he's on the line, and there's the special teams tackle.
What a great play from Joseph Jones. Your job's on the line. Make a play.
Welcome back live to Glendale. The Broncos trail Arizona 7-0. Joseph Jones, a big play on special teams. Demaryius Thomas joining me now on the sidelines. DT, you...
Hey, how y'all doing? Broncos country, baby. Demaryius Thomas right here. Just wanted to say hello. I'm excited about the year, man. What we got going on today?
I got some questions to ask you, all right? Number one, I get my job back? All right. Number one, Case, I believe it's pronounced Keenum? Keenum.
Yes, sir.
What do you think about the new quarterback? New energy in this building for sure.
Great energy. You know, I'm excited about it. You know, OTAs, mini camp, training camp, it's just been, you know, great. Better and better each week, each day. And, you know, getting ready for Seattle now, it's about that time. The guys, you know, he got the brains of a great. He got the tools of a great. And I just look forward to, you know, being on the field with him and excited about it. All the guys around me, Emmanuel, Jeff, Jake, Cortland, Deshaun, the running backs. He just, you know, he know where to go with the ball. He read the defenses quick. So that's one thing you ask him in the quarterback, you know. He know where to go with the ball. He read defenses quick, and he'll get you the ball.
And the thing is, there's no mistakes. He hasn't made a turnover in the preseason. Keenum hasn't. And it just seems like he's spreading it around to everyone. You started mentioning all the wide receivers, the running backs, so many weapons for him to go to. And we see that chemistry building game by game between the quarterback and the rest of his offense.
Yeah, you know, everybody's, you know, first year with him. You know, it's always you know, something you got to build up. And like you said, he's one of the guys that take care of the ball. You know, we notice in practice going up against, like, say for example, me and Chris going up against each other. If you make a good play, and he said, man, I would never pick that because he put it in the right spot. And that's one thing about Case. He always putting it in the right spot for only you can catch it and nobody else. And then that's good for our team because we'll minus the turnovers and get ourselves in better positions for, you know, better defensive stop and offensive setups.
You ready for Seattle? Because it looked like that after that Redskins game. It looked like you guys were all good to go.
We ready. You know, we still got some work to do. But, you know, we ready. We're excited. We're ready to compete and see what happens.
DT, here you go. Send it back to Brian and Steve.
Brian and Steve, thanks for having me. Go Broncos, baby.
Good job, Demaryius and Ron. Ron gives up the microphone twice. Elijah Penny is carrying the load here on this drive for the Cardinals.
I think DT's going to be excited to see number 21 for the Broncos come up and lay the wood here. Here's Stuart Cravens. Welcome to the Denver Broncos moment. Watch him come up and lay the wood on that tight end.
This is the end
Loses his helmet
of the first quarter.
I think he's healthy.
Looks like he is ready to go. We've waited a long time to see him. He hasn't played a lot of football. Played a lot in the first quarter. He'll play some more tonight. That's it. One quarter in the books. The preseason finale. Broncos trailing by a touchdown.
Welcome back to Glendale, 7-0 Cardinals, and great sign of Stuart Cravens coming up from his safety position on that last second down play. You know, the reason, Steve, he left Washington was because of concussions, and they tried to rush him back. He didn't agree with how fast they were trying to come back from concussions. They had questions as to whether he really wanted to play. That's a great sign of a safety coming down there and putting the wood after having those concussion issues.
Glennon to throw on 3rd and 3. It's incomplete. Trent Sherfield, the intended target. I know Cravens really wanted to play last week in Washington against those Redskins. Not to be, but he's playing and leaving a mark so far tonight on the Cardinals.
Well, and the big reason that he's here is to cover the tight end in third down situations. He's going to be that dime linebacker. Certainly the Broncos in the last couple of years have struggled to cover the AFC West tight ends, and that's a big reason why he's here.
Isaiah McKenzie will be on the bench and watch Adam Jones return this punt. There'll be no fair catching here. There is a flag down as Jones is dropped at the 20-yard line. It's a 48-yard punt by Andy Lee.
You're going to see a lot of flags on special teams tonight because they guys know this is where they're going to make the team. They're giving all-out effort. I think they're going to get Josie Jewell maybe with a block in the back.
During the return, illegal block in the back. return team number 59. It's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down. Timeout.
Going to push the Broncos back to the 10-yard line when we come back. Let's keep the Sewer Cravens talk going. Time to meet the player. Brought to you by CenturyLink. Tonight we spotlight Broncos defensive back in high school who's named Gatorade California Player of the Year for the other Broncos, the Vista Murrieta Broncos. At Southern Cal, he's a 3-year starter for the Trojans before entering the NFL draft after his junior year. His uncle played high school football with John Elway at Granada Hill.
Really? I didn't know that.
How about that?
That's pretty interesting.
John Elway will join us later in the show tonight. See if we can get the story on some roster moves before they happen. Good luck with that. Broncos push back at the 10. That's Craycraft in motion, top of your screen. And Chad Kelly comes out to throw, run. And he will slide down shy of the 20. Gain of 7. Scooby Wright got to him. There is a flag.
Holding offense number 71. That penalty is half the distance to goal. Replay. First down.
That's Austin Schlottman, the rookie out of TCU.
And Chad Kelly's hesitant right now. You know, that was a hard play action with one-man route. You're going to see coming from the right side of your screen, Tim Patrick is open. That ball should come out right there on time, and you get a 20-yard gain. So keep an eye on Chad Kelly and decision-making as he deals with this adversity early in the game.
Broncos are going the wrong way. 1st and 15 from their own 5. Play fake. Kelly with a man in his face, able to complete to Jordan Leslie. 17 yards, and there is a flag as Kelly is slow to get up.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense number 47. That 15-yard penalty will be added to the inlay. Automatic. First down.
Gritty play from Chad Kelly. It was a broken play, wanted to throw the down flat right off the bat. It wasn't open, so he extends the play and gives Jordan Leslie an opportunity, and that looked like a clean hit to me.
Zeke Turner, no love for the rookie there out of Washington.
Yeah, that's a clean hit. Anytime a quarterback gets hit in the preseason this year, they're throwing a flag no matter what, but that won't be called in the regular season.
With the penalty yardage tacked on, the Broncos have cleared the 35 on 1st down and 10. It's D'Angelo Henderson. Stopped by Scooby Wright. Gain of 1. This from Jim Kelly. Look at a young, spry Chad on his left. Not too long ago, this young man dreamt about playing in the NFL. His dreams have become a reality. Tonight, my nephew Chad will start his first NFL preseason game. All your hard work will pay off, Chad. Keep working. You're a Kelly.
That's
God bless
awesome.
you. 6.
That's awesome.
On Jim Kelly's Instagram, and you know he is glued to the TV set tonight, wherever he might be in Western New York. On 2nd down and 9, there's Dave Williams. Put him in the 3rd passing situation after the gain of 3.
A great opportunity here for Chad Kelly. You know, settle down. You've got some playmakers out there with you. It's not like you're out there with, you know, the bottom of the roster, right? You're out there with guys that are going to make this team, like Tim Patrick and others. So give him an opportunity to make some plays, settle down, read the defense, don't panic, and he'll be fine.
3rd down and 6 now.
It's another pressure look with those 2 linebackers over the center. Last time they popped out.
Cardinals rushing 4. There is pressure. Trying to set up the screen to Williams. It didn't work. A.J. Howard had the coverage. Zeke Turner was thinking 6, but it's just an incomplete pass to Dave Williams.
So this is a case where, again, Chad Kelly gets fooled a little bit, right? They only rush 4. He throws the ball like he was getting blitzed and he was going to get hit when actually the offensive line is going to pick it up. You're going to see Wilkinson is going to come out and pick him up. You just need to step underneath that and then have the opportunity to throw the ball down the field.
2nd punt of the night from Marquette King from his 30. Corey Willis is back deep and he calls for a fair catch at the 17. Just a 42-yard punt for King. Broncos still trailing by a touchdown. Here's tonight's trivia question, brought to you by Ford, the official trucks and SUVs of the Denver Broncos. In the 1998 NFL playoffs, he guided the Arizona Cardinals to their first playoff victory since moving to Phoenix. He also led the Broncos to the 2005 AFC Championship game. Who is he?
That's easy.
Yeah. Who doesn't know that? Everybody.
The legend in this town.
Yep. Yeah, Al, the bartender, knows who he is. He met the mayor of Glendale last night. On the ground, Sherman Beatty stopped by Josie Jewell, but not until he had a gain of 9 yards.
You know, there's one player on this Broncos defensive line that we haven't really talked a whole lot about this preseason, but coaches are really excited about. That's Deshaun Williams, who's a second-year player out of Clemson, number 93. And when they had their joint practices with the Bears, they said he was unblockable in practice. So not a name that we've talked a whole lot about, but I'm excited to watch him tonight.
2nd down and 6. Trying to put some good plays on tape, whether it's for the Broncos or for somebody else. Good stop there. It's Josie Jewell swinging his man around. It's Beatty who's dropped for no gain.
Well, and Josie Jewell has quickly become one of Joe Wood's favorites on this defense. He calls him the Beast. He's smart, knows exactly how to play the linebacker position, reads offenses well. And you see Williams, we talked about him, he takes on the double team, and that frees up Josie Jewell to get in the backfield for a tackle for loss.
Has never looked out of place. Looks nothing like a rookie in this Broncos defense. It's 3rd down and 6 now. Cardinals from their own 22. Glennon. And nobody's home. Looking for Greg Little, who is looking for a flag and won't get one. 4th down. The Broncos are going to get the football back.
That's a really nice stand from this backup defense for the Broncos. You get some tackle for loss, stop the run game, and then on 3rd down, you get a stop.
Hey, I don't know how many chances Isaiah McKenzie's going to get on the punt return. Here is opportunity number 1. McKenzie back deep. And the punt is headed in his direction. From the 24. Caught it cleanly. Go on the length of the field. There is a flag down as he turns the corner. Isaiah McKenzie across midfield. But you have to think it's coming back. It's a 33-yard punt return. Likely to be wiped out.
Yeah, but you know what? For Isaiah McKenzie, he did what he was supposed to do, and he put that on tape, and he showed the coaches. The reason they're excited about him is his speed to the edge, and Tom McMahon, special teams coordinator, knows it.
Return team number 35. That's a 10-yard penalty. It'll be 1st down. Timeout.
That was DeMonte Thomas trying to make a block in the special teams. McKenzie did his part. Broncos football when we come back. There's the answer to tonight's Ford trivia question. Again, we asked in the 1998 NFL playoffs. He guided the Cardinals to their first playoff victory since moving to Phoenix. He also led the Broncos to the 2005 AFC Championship game. Who is he? That's Jake the Snake. Jake Plummer threw 2 touchdown passes as the Cards upset the Cowboys 20-7 in the 98 NFL playoffs. Then in 05 for the Broncos, Plummer led the team to a 13-3 record and an appearance in the AFC Championship game. Broncos on 1st down from their own 15. And it's Dave Williams for a gain of 4. See if Rod Mackey can hang on to the microphone. Rod.
Yeah, DT stole this mic, D-Stu, so I got to hold on to it. I can't let you take control like he did. Here with Darian Stewart, you kind of enjoying this, the fact that this is such a long season. The starters, you guys knew you were going to get a break. You got to get to watch the other guys, see what the game's all about with them.
Oh, yeah. You know, I'm happy we're in Arizona, man. I'm looking forward to seeing these young guys play last game here, man. And we're looking forward to seeing who the team chooses to help us out.
Also guessing you're excited to see a little more depth in that defensive backfield. Su'a Craven's finally back on the football field. You guys add Adam Pac-Man Jones to the team. So some depth where it looked like you guys might be a little bit thin.
Yeah, man, we added some impact players, I think. And, you know, they're definitely going to make this team better, and they're going to make the secondary a lot better.
How ready do you think you guys are for the Seattle game? I was talking to Maris about it. He said he felt he was good to go on offense after that Washington game.
I think so. I think we're ready. You know, we had a good training camp. We made each other better every day, and each preseason game, we got better each game. And so I definitely think we're ready to go.
You know, it's funny, Darren, because last year you guys were 4-0 in the preseason, and yet the confidence level now seems much higher than it did at this time last year.
I know, man. It's just who we got leading us, man. We got a nice quarterback, you know, that's leading us, and nice offensive coordinator, nice defensive scheme. Everything's looking up, man.
Final thing for you, just the fact that you did add a couple new guys. How long does it kind of take that chemistry in that defensive backfield to become one?
I think we got it. You know, I think we got it. You know, adding Pac-Man there, we gonna catch him up. He's a 13-year vet, so we can bring him up to speed pretty fast. And he's been in this defense before, so that's another plus.
Very good, D-Stu. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll see you in Seattle, guys. We'll send it back up to you. I held on to the mic this time, Steve.
Good job, Rod. Way to go.
Is there anybody more chill than D-Stu?
He's pretty chill. Nothing seems to bother him. Cool, calm, and collected. Chad Kelly thrown out of the backfield to D'Angelo Henderson for a gain of 12. And while we were in the interview, Kelly looked good on a pass completion to Mark Patrick for 15.
Yeah, very confident throw from Chapman. And then this one from D'Angelo Henderson. D'Angelo Henderson is making a statement tonight. You know, he did this last year in the preseason. The stage is not too big for him. He's a good football player, and he's an NFL caliber back. Whether it's here or somewhere else, he's going to have a job.
Flags fly. See who moved first.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense, number 97. There's a 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
That's Owen Abosier, the rookie out of Hampton.
You know, talking about D'Angelo Henderson, a lot of people think, you know, that he's a better back than Devontae Booker, potentially. And a lot of people think, well, maybe Devontae Booker shouldn't make this football team. D'Angelo Henderson should make it, along with Royce Freeman and Phillip Lindsay. And, you know, I'm not so sure they're not right. You know, he's a good football player. The problem is he's 5'7", and people can't get around his size.
Kelly throwing on the run. It is caught. Tim Patrick went up high with a 6'5" frame to bring it down for a gain of 10.
Boy, this is what Tim Patrick has done all camp. He's looked like Cortland Sutton, for crying out loud. He comes across, this ball is thrown a little bit behind him. You know you're going to get hit. Look at the toughness that he displays, going up, securing that football. That's a receiver that you trust. And when a quarterback trusts a guy like that, then you make plays.
And I think Kelly looks like he's regained his confidence as well on this particular drive. Have a first down, and they're well into Cardinals territory. Quick out to Dave Williams. They'll give him 2 on the forward progress. We wind under 7 minutes to play in the first half. Only Ford came up to make the stop.
You're right, Chad Kelly's been perfect on this drive, and that's what you want to see. You know, when you come out and you throw an interception to start the game, in my mind as a coach, I'm saying, listen, I'm letting this kid play more tonight. I want to see what he's got, and he's responded after a shaky start.
Second down and 8. Did you say I was right?
No.
Okay, I caught my hearing. We roll that back in the truck and see.
I'm in charge of those rollbacks.
Okay, you handle that. I'll read the cards. Second down and 8, we got a flag.
False start. Offense, number 86. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
It's Austin Traylor, second-year tight end out of Wisconsin.
Traylor's kind of the security blanket. They know exactly what they have in him. He's solid. He's not spectacular in any one part of his game. But you talk with Billy Musgrave, he said he has squeezed every ounce of talent out of what he has. We'll see if he has enough to make the team.
Second and 13 after the marker. Kelly to throw. Perfect touch on that one of Jordan Leslie. First down and then some. It's a gain of 25.
Good read there. Leslie on the corner out. Great protection up front. Give this offensive line some credit, and then an accurate throw from Chad Kelly.
Kelly to throw. A little too hot and too high for Brian Parker to pull in. Looks like Kelly knows.
It's interesting there. They went no huddle, trying to catch the Cardinals off guard. But you see this last play to Leslie. Well done.
Second down and 10 at the Arizona 15. Inside handoff to Henderson. And he patiently runs down to the 10 for a gain of 6. Get good blocking up front. Yeah. I've been impressed by the run blocking tonight.
Yeah, I've been really impressed by Eli Wilkinson. You know, he's played mostly guard this season. They want to see him play a little bit more tackle, see if he can use that flexibility. But right now you see Wilkinson, 68, and Turner both on the right side of this offensive line. Those are two guys they're going to depend on this year.
Dave Williams in the game on 3rd down and 4. Kelly from the gun. Quick throw is in and out of the hands. Tim Patrick could not haul it in. Looked like the pass was there.
Yeah, that's a tough completion there for Chad Kelly. Your eyes go right over there. You bring the safety over, and even if that play is caught, you're putting your receiver in a bind, getting hit from the safety. That ball probably needed to go to the flat.
Tim Scott made a nice defensive play, the first-year player out of North Carolina. Brandon McManus is on for a 27-yard field goal. McManus laughs at 27-yard attempts.
Did you just jinx him?
Perfect on the preseason. Right down the middle. There is no such thing as an announcer jinx. McManus was 5 for 5 a week ago, including 1 from 50 and 1 from 56. He's got the job. 7-3. Will the Broncos keep 3 quarterbacks? There they are. Or will it just be 2 men in the quarterback's room?
Don't ask me. You ask John Elway when he comes on.
That's the first, no, maybe the second question. No team in the NFL has been asked more about the backup quarterback. Not even in Philadelphia, where their backup quarterback won them the Super Bowl, and I'm not sure they know who's going to play still on opening night. Still holding out hope for Carson Wentz, or will it be Nick Foles? Brandon Williams is back deep to return for Arizona. See if one of the Broncos players can make a big special team stop. No opportunity there. It's a touchback. 7-3 Cards, the preseason finale. The story has dominated headlines and airwaves nationally, but in no state more than in Arizona. Senator John McCain passed away last Saturday at the age of 81. Had a moment of silence prior to tonight's game. His legacy crossed over from the political arena to the sporting arena. Avid supporter of the local pro teams here. And at the memorial here today, Larry Fitzgerald was among those who got to speak just before Joe Biden did. And then John McCain was taken to the airport for one final flight to Washington, D.C. Been called a true American hero by so many. He is so fondly remembered, especially here in Arizona. So Fitzgerald got a chance to speak on his behalf. He said there are a few differences between me and the senators.
Oh, yeah?
He said Senator McCain ran for the presidency. And he goes, I run out of bounds. So there was some levity mixed in with some of the tears. And
yeah.
He said he's got the long flowing locks, and John McCain did not.
What a man Larry Fitzgerald is. He's been kind of a model citizen in the NFL for so many years. Such a great player, such a great man.
Yeah, never hear a bad word about Larry Fitzgerald.
And a special relationship with John McCain. I mean, how often does that happen?
That's
right?
a great point. Even though superstars in sports, but to be so close with such a huge politician, someone so high up.
And that tells you about John McCain too, right? John McCain, you know, yeah, you could be a sports fan, but to come out and really get to know the players like he did, and not just football, but you saw the hockey picture.
Yeah.
It just tells you that John McCain was genuine through and through in getting to know people.
They were telling stories all over the local coverage, as you would expect here in Arizona, and I guess McCain had so many upgrades because he had so many flights. So they offered him complimentary first-class seats, and he's like, no, I want to sit and coach in a window seat. I want to be sitting with the real people.
Right.
Imagine you sitting on a plane, you got a middle seat, and there's John McCain to your right. Hey, Senator, a couple thoughts. Deshaun Williams makes a big play there for a loss of 8.
Yeah, we talked about Deshaun Williams in that last drive, and it's playing out tonight. A guy that has a chance to make this football team coming out of nowhere. Now, it's stacked against him because the deepest part of the Denver Broncos is their defensive line, and they only have 3 defensive linemen in their 3-4 scheme. So if he doesn't make this team, somebody's going to pick him up.
Timeout. Not exactly out of nowhere. Dabo would be offended by that. Second-year player out of Clemson.
Yeah, but he wasn't even the best player on his Clemson team, right?
Before any movement, good second charge timeout. Arizona, there's a 30-second timeout.
Cardinals use their second timeout. Another season of Broncos Tonight begins this Sunday night. Each week, Broncos Tonight is your home for the best game day highlights, player interviews, analysis, and insight. From inside the huddle to inside the locker room. Watch Broncos Tonight with Rod Mackey, Mike Kliss, and Chad Brown, Sunday night, 10:35, only on 9 News. Mike's going to join us in the booth tonight as well, I understand.
Oh, he is? Okay.
It'll be a crowded booth. Hectic, a lot of action. Stick around for the second half, people. John Elway and Mike Kliss, not at the same time. We'll separate those two.
Just give them our headsets.
3rd and 14. Elijah Penny is upended for a loss of 6.
Guess who? Sue Cravens, yeah. You know, he's coming up, making tackles. He came up and made a big play on a tight end, and now he gets Penny on the ground in the open field. It's good to see Sue Cravens out there making plays.
Isaiah McKenzie is back deep, and again, so in the coach's mind, McKenzie gets credit for a 33-yard return last time. It won't be in the box score because of a penalty.
No, absolutely. I mean, that's what preseason is all about, right? You do your job, make your play. Yeah, there was a block in the back, but Isaiah McKenzie made the right read. He showed the speed to get to the edge, and so, yeah, absolutely.
This is the 2-minute warning.
Down to the 2-minute warning. Broncos will get the football. See what they can do with it. Trailing 7-3 here in Glendale. Preseason finale. Stay tuned during halftime of tonight's game. It's the 9 News halftime report presented by Nissan. A quick look at today's headlines with news and weather from Colorado's news leader, 9 News. It's kind of a special night in the NFL, Grease. I don't know. This might be the only date on the calendar all 32 NFL teams play.
That has to be, right? Yeah.
16 games, if I've done the math correctly there. Some are over, and some out in the Pacific time zone. This one, about to go to the half. Fair catch for Isaiah McKenzie.
Opportunity here for a 2-minute drill with Chad Kelly. This offense has stalled for most of this first half, so might be his last opportunity for an impression time on Billy Musgrave.
We would expect to see Paxton Lynch coming out of the locker room at halftime. Seems like Kelly started with awful field position too. The majority of these recent drives, they'll start backed up from their own 10. Kelly to throw on first down. Able to find Dave Williams out of the backfield for a gain of 8. Broncos do have all 3 timeouts. Zeke Turner's been active in the secondary for the Cardinals tonight. So
you don't need to be in a rush here. As you mentioned, all 3 timeouts, but you do need to have a little bit of an urgency to you from that position and show that you know how to run this 2-minute drill.
2nd and 1. Kelly looks cool and calm, able to connect to Tim Patrick. Can't get out of bounds. Clock will wind. Gain of 7 until the Broncos are forced to use their
first charge timeout. Denver. This is a 30-second timeout.
So VJ's got a decision to make in collaboration with John Elway, right? You know, are they going to keep 3 quarterbacks on this roster, or are there other positions of need on the roster that warrant only keeping 2 and using that 3rd spot to maybe add a wide receiver, a running back, a safety, something like that? You know, the thing that might factor in is the fact they've had 3 core special teamers go down with injuries, season-ending injuries. So they might need one of those spots that a 3rd quarterback would have.
First down and 10. Low snap. Kelly regains it and sends it flying down the middle of the field. Looking for Tim Patrick. Just led him a bit too far. But you're right, Grease. The Broncos losing Gerald Garcia-Williams this week. In practice, his knee just went in a pass rushing drill. Tough times with special teams injuries.
This was the right read, and I like the aggressive approach. Tim Patrick gets this one step, but there's not much space. There's good coverage by the Cardinals.
Tim Scott on the coverage. 2nd down and 10. 25. Kelly to throw. Short and quick. That's Mark Chapman for a gain of 7. But that's not going to do it. We need a chunk play, or an explosive, as I like to call it. 3rd and 3. Kelly surveys the field. And reaching up for it was Matt Lacoste. It's a great grab, but I think he was way out of bounds. See, way out of bounds. And it brings up 4th down.
Yeah, great catch. Look at D'Angelo Henderson over the ball. He's wide open. There's your 1st down. And Chad Kelly gets flushed and almost makes an unbelievable play. But what the coaches are going to say to him, say, make the right play. Like, make the easy play. It's a 1st down, and we're still going.
Instead, Marquette King is on the punt.
But Chad has a penchant of rolling out of the pocket when maybe he doesn't need to.
Corey Willis spinning away from some people out to the 34 before Shamarko Thomas made the stop on special teams. Thomas was injured on special teams coverage a week ago on the first play. Was taken to the hospital. It was talk could be a detached retina, which scared everyone.
Right.
But apparently he's fine. It was a great story to see him back, and had to rejoin the team in Denver the next day.
Yeah, and talking with VJ this morning, he said that Shamarko is one of their better special teams players. So it brings up a dilemma for this coaching staff that he's not in the 2 deep as a safety, but he is one of your core special teamers, and that's what I'm talking about. You might need to keep an extra safety for special teams purposes because of the loss of Gerald Garcia-Williams, Jamal Carter, and Deontrez Mount. 3 core special teams guys out for the year.
On 1st down and 10, Sherman Beatty. The Cards go conservative. It's a loss of 4. Keyshawn Bieria, who needs to impress tonight, came up and made the stoppage. You want it all in one player, but it does seem that Vance Joseph has to choose from guys who are not as good in the regular position as they are special teams, and then guys who are not as good on special teams who are better in their actual regular position, offense, defense.
Isaiah McKenzie is another example of that.
It's Beatty out of the backfield. I don't know why he ran out of bounds. 11 seconds left. Gain of 1. Tick, 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 tick. On the preseason finale tonight. 7-3. Both clubs trying to get out of here with nobody getting hurt. And a whole lot of football players thinking, might this be their last night playing in the NFL? Or have I earned a roster job or a spot on the practice squad? Either with Denver, Arizona, or somebody else. Here's 3rd and 12. Nice ball laid in there to Bryce Butler with 5 seconds left. It's a gain of 19. And the Cardinals
3rd and final.
take their last timeout with 5 seconds left.
This is a 30-second
Mike Glennon's thrown a few nice balls tonight.
He's looked pretty good here. You got 3 quarterbacks here with the Cardinals. Obviously, Sam Bradford came over, signed a 1-year deal for $20 million. And then you draft Josh Rosen high in the 1st round. And then you got this guy, Mike Glennon, who's played a little bit of football. So they have a decision to make as to what they want to do with their quarterbacks. And much like the New York Jets did in trading Teddy Bridgewater, there might be an opportunity for Steve Wilks to get some compensation.
What'd you think of the value for Bridgewater, a 3rd-round pick from New Orleans?
I thought it was just right about where it should be. You know, Teddy could be, you know, that successor to Drew Brees. He's got a lot of football left in him, but he doesn't have to be rushed into it.
Here we go. It should be the final play of the half. Glennon ran out of time. There is a penalty. We'll see who the penalty is on. Jeff Holland, who was trying to make this team desperately, comes up with the sack. The rookie out of Auburn, who last season had 9.5 sacks. Looks like it's a hold.
holding offense, number 79. I rule that penalty declined. That is the end of the first half.
We'll give Holland credit for the sack. As Keenum and the Broncos walk off, a low-scoring affair. It's the final preseason game, and the Cardinals lead the Broncos 7-3. John Elway will join us in the third quarter. Here now, Lenisa, halftime report. And the Broncos continue to travel well. A whole lot of blue and orange made their way to the desert here. It's 105 degrees outside. Nice and cool inside the broadcast booth. Steve Levy along with Brian Greasy. Rod Mackey will join us from the field, and John Elway in a little bit. 3 points on the boards for the Broncos. But did you find a highlight or two in there?
Well, it was about individual battles,
Yes,
and trying to make the team. I thought D'Angelo Henderson had a really nice first half, Steve. You know, did you see the footwork, running the football? Had some nice cuts, downhill, a physical approach, and then he caught the ball in the backfield, and there you see the sweet feet. So I give him a 8 out of 10 in the first half. Sua Cravens is the one I'm really excited about. This was him as a gunner out there on punt return, getting physical, and then coming up, hitting the tight end. No issues with the concussions and making some open field tackles. I thought it was a really nice start for Sua Cravens, what they wanted to see out of him.
First half stats are brought to you by Verizon. Thought Joe Jones also did himself proud. Big special teams tackle. And I thought Adam Jones did a nice job. Couple of kick returns. Trying to make some plays.
Yeah. No, all in all, I thought the guys that are on the bubble actually performed really well.
There's Cravens. He's wearing some of the field. We were on the field before the game, and you said this is among the best surfaces in the NFL here.
No question. This is a great grass, natural surface. I think most people know that this field is kind of shuttled in and out of this stadium. It actually is outside in the sun, growing, and they bring it in for their games. It's just a really, really great place to play a game.
The big toaster, as Chris Berman would say. Second half is underway. It's Brandon Williams on the return, and he's able to work out to the 15 to return a 19. Special team stop by Marcus Rush. Here's Rod.
Guys caught up with Vance Joseph coming out of the locker room. He said he was pleased with Chad Kelly. Solid, he said, after those turnovers, which turned into points, which he didn't like, but he was happy with the way he came back. Adam Jones, he talked to him into one more return. He thought he'd go 2. Adam said, I want to go 1 more, and he got 10 reps at the DB position, which he was happy about. He said Isaiah McKenzie made a big play, and that's what he needs to do. And finally, you guys touched on it briefly, Sua Cravens, very impressed with his physical play. He'll shut him down now.
Good stuff, Rod. Thank you. Not much doing there. It's a loss of 1. Deshaun Williams comes up to make another stop.
Yeah, mentioned Deshaun Williams. I just like watching this guy play. And, you know, we talk a lot about the first 6 for the Broncos defensive line. Domata Peko, Gotsis, Wolf, and then you got Kerr and Shelby Harris, who are rock solid. But there is a little bit of a competition for that 6th spot between DeMarcus Walker, Clinton McDonald, and now Deshaun Williams, who I think is pushing. So don't be shocked if that name comes up Saturday.
I will not be, for one. Mike Glennon's night is over. This is Charles Knopf, the rookie out of Princeton. Handing off the pitch to Sherman Beatty. No gain on the play there as the Broncos defense comes up with a big play. Kyle Peko on the stop.
What do you got on Knopf?
It's funny you mentioned that, Grease. He's Princeton's all-time leader in passing yards and completions.
Wow.
That's good. That's good enough for me.
I'd never heard of him.
Yeah. You turned down a couple of those Ivy League offers, I know, Grease, to walk on at Michigan. I got you.
Didn't quite have the scores. I'm sure that Mr. Knopf has a plan B if plan A here doesn't work out.
You think he's all set? 5 seconds to snap it. 3 seconds. 2 seconds.
Oh, right when we give him a compliment.
Not smart enough. That might be on the center, though. And that would be fitting. That's Mason Cole, the
from
Michigan.
Come on.
False start. Offense. Left side of the line. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
I love that. That's
now, wait a second.
It's the left side of the line.
Wait a second. Mason Cole is not in the game.
Oh, okay.
You are incorrect, sir.
Took a
the
shot.
center is 62. That's the
Daniel
backup.
Munyer.
defend them in Michigan to the end.
Second-year player out of Colorado.
Oh, no.
People at home will be familiar. You were hoping it was somebody else. Referee said the left side of the line, too. All right, here's Knopf.
That's enough.
And it'll bring up a fourth down. So a good stand by this Broncos defense to open up quarter number 3. And an opportunity at every turn. And this one belongs to River Craycraft. Craycraft, who has a catch tonight, is standing at his own 38-yard line. See if he can make a big special teams play here.
And his big assignment is to play the ball in the air. He's let too many balls hit the ground.
Andy Lee boots it in the air. Craycraft from the 44. And the flag comes out. A lot of stop and go. Not a whole lot of yardage gain. Likely coming back anyway. It's a 46-yard punt. And players have to be separated on that Broncos sideline.
I think they're going to get D'Angelo Henderson for a block in the back. He's running down, trying to make an effort play and to spring Craycraft, but you just can't push a guy in the back.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Return team number 43. That's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down. Timeout.
We'll step out. John Elway is on the way here in the third. Back in Glendale, Cardinals enjoying a 7-3 lead as Paxton Lynch gets ready to open up his action for this final preseason game. And the generosity of John Elway's time to offer to be with us the entire second half. What a great guy. Thank you so much for stopping by.
You bet. Good to see you guys. The more I can do.
Yeah. We won't keep you the whole half.
Okay.
Maybe a series or 2 or 3 as we
got it.
We watch Paxton Lynch. And I guess the first question is, what'd you make of Chad Kelly's effort tonight?
You know, I thought he did some good things. You know, he can make some plays. He can move around with his feet. He took some shots, made some good throws, too. Obviously, it'd be nice to have a little couple of points on the board, but I think he did a nice job.
When you look at this draft class, I mean, all of these guys look like they're going to be football players. I mean, what was the common thread throughout the class, John?
You know what? It was really about maturity.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think 8 out of the 10 we drafted were seniors. And so they were guys, and a lot of them were captains also. So it was important for us to get some leadership qualities in them. And you know, they've proven to do a really nice job so far this year.
But to even get like a guy like Philip Lindsay as an undrafted free agent, how much of a surprise has he been, honestly?
Well, you know what? We had our eyes on him, and so we liked him a lot at CU. And so for him to come in and the grit that he has and the way that he plays the game, you know, we wish he had 53 guys like that, you know, at 180 pounds, but, you know, plays 100 miles an hour, really can run and has some talent. So it's great to have him a part of it.
How do you see his role through the course of the season playing out?
You know, I think he'll be, a lot of special teams and be big on special teams. He'd be a core special teams guy for us and also play some snaps on offense. How that is, 8 to 10 games, possibly, a game, and, try to get him out in space and get him the football. If we can do that, then he can make some big plays for us.
Bradley Chubb, we didn't see him a whole lot in the preseason, but he appears to be as advertised.
He is. He's been, he's done a very nice job and really made the transition well. And he's a big, strong kid. And, the big question was whether he could, could he play defensive end, could he play outside linebacker? And so he's proven that that transition's been very easy for him.
Is this a sleep? You've been through this now before many times. Is this a tough night for you tonight? Like, when does the tough stuff really begin for you?
Well, it's always tough, and really it starts this weekend when we have to get down to 53, and so these guys work their tail off, and since April, and it's they have a dream to play in the NFL, and we just obviously don't carry 90 guys. So this weekend's always a tough weekend.
John Diarse must know you're on television. He just cooked that pass for 25 yards. He wants to make the squad too.
He sure does. We got a lot of guys, and they've all worked really, really hard. And so that's why it's such a tough weekend, because a lot of good kids that. Their dream was to play in the NFL, and you have to break those dreams.
And a nice throw there from Paxton Lynch. I'm interested, from a philosophical standpoint, have you made a decision whether you keep 3 quarterbacks or 2, and what goes into that decision?
You know what? I think we'll have to see how everything turns out. Obviously, we're going to see how they play tonight. Paxton's continued to get better. Obviously, he's been in a tough spot because of the expectations for him being a first-round draft pick, and so, but he's done a nice job, continued to work hard, continued to battle. So we'll see how the weekend goes, and you know, whether we go with 2 or, you know, we end up staying with or going with 3. And so we'll see that make that decision next couple days.
John, I think fans would be interested to know what your day is like this whole week. Like, is it constant conversations with other GMs? Is it more conversations with your own staff? Can you give us a feel for that?
You know, it's really more with our own staff, and obviously there's GMs that are calling, trying to move different guys, and so, you know, there's a lot more talk than really what happens, just because of the fact that guys are trying to move guys before they actually really waive them, and so it's really more talk than action. But for us, you know, we will continue to work through this, especially the last 2 or 3 spots, you know, all the way until 2 o'clock on Saturday when we have to turn the names in.
And then you're watching your own guys so closely, and someone's got to be keeping an eye on other rosters who might have available talent to fill a need for you.
Absolutely, and that's what our pro staff does. They do a great job, and they go through all the young guys that are drafted from 5th on down and college free agents. And so we get a grade on all those guys. We'll end up stacking a board. We make a board, and we'll end up stacking to see if what's available once the cuts come out, and if there's someone that can help us out there.
Hey, I wanted to ask you on Mr. B, your reactions. You know, we waited a long time for that, but what did it mean to you?
You know what? Because he was such an integral part of my career and gave us the opportunity to be able to compete year in and year out. And you know, playing with the Broncos, that, you know, no one had it any better than we had it, and all the resources he had went into the football team, and football was always first. And so as a player, you know, you can't ask for anything more. And so, you know, it's a thrill for him, and I'm, you know, thrilled for all of us that you know, he's down now, you know, a finalist, and so hoping, got our fingers crossed that things are going to work out. But there's not a more deserving guy. You know, not only what he did on the football side for us and with the Broncos, but also at the league level. And I think you can never underestimate what he did there.
The lines, this one's for John and this one's for Pat. I mean, that just gives you chills. John, thanks for stopping by.
You got it. Great seeing you guys.
Good luck the rest of the way.
All right, thank you.
That's John Elway. The Broncos inching closer. While we were visiting with John Elway, Brandon McManus hit a 46-yard field goal to bring the Broncos a point closer, 7-6. And he will kick it away to Corey Willis. Willis from the 10. More good special teams play there by the Broncos. Jordan Leslie making the stop. It's a 14-yard return. The Broncos Huddle is back this fall on Channel 9, starting on Wednesday, September the 12th. Join Rod Mackey and Broncos players for their unique insight into each week's game throughout the season. That's Broncos Huddle, Wednesdays at 6:30 on Channel 9.
Jordan Leslie, we called his name a bunch. He's made some catches, some big-time catches on offense, and now makes a special teams play. You know, he's probably on the outside looking in currently, but as we mention all the time, 31 other teams watching tonight.
Here's Knopf to throw, and it's off the hands of Bryce Williams, the first-year player out of East Carolina. Trey Marshall made the stop for the Broncos. 8.5 left here in quarter number 3, the preseason finale. From the 13, it's Penny, the fullback, and he'll stumble forward for 2. Elijah Penny goes 6'1", 234, second-year player out of Idaho.
I think we're going to see in the second half here, we're going to see a lot of Isaac Yiadom. You know, we've talked a lot about him in the first 3 games because of the important position that he was put in as basically that third corner as a rookie out of Boston College. But the signing of Adam Jones takes some pressure off of Yiadom. He's going to be a good football player, and the coaches know he's going to be a good football player. He just needs some time, experience, and he needs to get a little bit more physical so the pressure is off.
Knopf throwing and completing, drop by C.J. Duncan, the rookie out of Vanderbilt. You know, along those battles we've been talking about, Grease, I don't think I've mentioned Brandon Langley's name tonight.
Yeah, certainly he's battling as well. This is a great play by Trey Marshall. He played a lot of football at Florida State. He doesn't have as big a size, only 6 feet, but as a rookie and a free agent, he has shown up in this secondary. Just knows the right place to be.
It's River Craycraft time. Another chance to impress. Lee puts it in the air. Craycraft has to back up at his 25. And now it's to pick up some blocks and show off some speed. And he's out to the 34-yard line. It's a 59-yard punt by Andy Lee, the 15th-year punter out of Pittsburgh for the Cardinals. I'd like to take a moment here to recognize a treasure for families. It's based in Colorado, founded by my partner Brian Greasy. It's Judy's House. It's named for Brian's mom. It's the only organization in Metro Denver devoted solely to providing research-based care to grieving children and their families. Founded in 2002, the vision was simple. No child should be alone in grief. Over the past 16 years, Judy's House has helped nearly 10,000 children and caregivers who are grieving find connection and healing. Judy's House has provided this compassionate care to families at no cost. So hats off to Brian and his lovely wife, Dr. Brooke, for their commitment to these families while honoring your mom and influence on your life, and I know how important this is to you.
Well, it's very nice you guys to do that. It's really become a community effort, right? It's not just Brooke and I. We have a wonderful team over there at Judy's House, and we continue to meet the need in the community, and it's an important need. It's become much more than a charity. Now it's a critical public health service, and we're really honored to do the work, and we've had so many wonderful people get involved. Really has been a journey that we have enjoyed every moment.
I've been fortunate enough to visit Judy's House on multiple occasions. You know, I first got involved because I wanted to be involved in anything you're involved in. and then learning about it, it's just so unique. You just don't see this kind of thing every place.
Yeah, well, and you know what I think is really cool is that Judy's House doesn't exist without the Denver Broncos, right? You know, that platform that I had playing in Denver for 5 years really jump-started what Judy's House ended up becoming. It was just an experience that I had, and Brooke had an education as a clinical psychologist to create the programming, and then the Broncos platform really is what allowed us to begin helping a lot of kids.
So folks want to do something good, want to get involved, want to help out, or need be, you have an address for us, want to give a shout out?
Well, it's just, judyshouse.org is the website. What I tell people is that, if you need the service, because there's so many people that are grieving the loss of a loved one. We saw what happened, this week with John McCain and his family. Unfortunately, many of the families that we serve are dealing with a loss way too early in life, and these kids are missing their mother, their father, brother, sister. So if you need this kind of service, reach out.
Judy'sHouse.org. What was the stat Dr. Brooke always has on the tip of her tongue? It's 1 in 4, right? It's 1 in 4 families who are dealing with the loss of a loved one at a young age?
1 out of every 17 kids, right? 1 out of every 17 kids will have a parent or a brother or sister die before they reach the age of 18. So it's a lot more prevalent than you might think, and these kids are dealing with a lot of potential negative outcomes from unresolved grief, and so we're trying to do our part to help keep them on that right developmental track.
Well, you're a good dude. It's Judy'sHouse.org.
Thanks for doing that, guys. That was nice.
Get involved,
You guys always
people.
surprise me with that in this 4th game.
Under 5 to play here in the 3rd. Here's D'Angelo Henderson out of the backfield. It's a short gain of 2 on the play.
Paxton Lynch looks a little bit more relaxed tonight, Steve. Looks like he's under control. They had one bust in protection that he kind of got caught off guard and sacked for a loss, but he's thrown the ball accurately, and it's good to see him kind of just relax and take a lot of the weight off your shoulders and just go out and play ball.
Vance Joseph said he deserved a better fate in the Chicago game.
Yep.
Because, the Bears come from behind and people see the final score and everything. But he played terrific, and if not for an Isaiah McKenzie fumble late as a receiver,
correct,
the Broncos kick a field goal, win that game, and people are talking about Paxton Lynch. Hey, what a great second half, what a great comeback. So the coaches know about that, even if maybe the fans aren't.
Well, and I think that, listen, my opinion, right, I would move on from Paxton Lynch. That's just my opinion. I think it would be better for the Broncos and better for Paxton Lynch.
Yes.
But what I'm hearing, what I'm sensing is that Vance Joseph, John Elway, are kind of thinking about keeping him as the third quarterback, just because I don't know that they're completely sold on Chad Kelly as a backup.
Here's Dave Williams with a chunk play for 13.
So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see. But if they keep 3 guys, then I think Paxton Lynch makes the team.
It's more great blocking up front by that offensive line for the Broncos.
Well, these guys have played the whole game. Sam Jones, Schlotman, they're playing a full football game tonight. There is no coming out. See Elijah Wilkinson still in there now playing tackle.
Here's Lynch on the check down to Dave Williams out of the backfield for 5.
Well, his 3 years here for the Denver Broncos have been well documented. He's had 3 different coordinators. You know, Rick Dennison and Gary Kubiak to start, then Mike McCoy and Billy Musgrave, right, last year, and this year Billy Musgrave. So hasn't been the easiest of transitions.
Look, and the Broncos moved up. They traded up to get him in the first round. He's been paid the bulk of his upfront guaranteed money, so the investment has already been made. When you make a decision, here's Mark Chapman. Reese, does it matter on what the realistic aspirations are for the team? For example, the Broncos think they're a playoff team. Therefore, that extra roster spot, I would think, becomes more important, as opposed to a team that's really rebuilding, not going to be a playoff team. Maybe it's easier for them to spend a third spot on the quarterback.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think nowadays different teams have different philosophies, and that's why I asked John what his philosophy is on keeping 2 quarterbacks or 3. And some teams just go with 2 because they want to use, like the Patriots, they want to use it on other players.
Here's Lynch on the run, has a man. It's Jordan Leslie, touchdown, 16 yards. Paxton Lynch to Jordan Leslie. Advance Joseph said it's Lynch's job to make it a tough decision for us tonight, and I think he just did that there.
And that's the first time I've seen Paxton Lynch in a long time get excited. This is a great throw on the run across your body, just out in front of Leslie. And you could see the jubilation for Paxton Lynch after he threw that football.
Is eligible. Number 79.
Broncos will check out the 2-point conversion. Try to make it a 3-point game. Lynch brings him up. Dave Williams to his right. The R spot on your screen. Lynch in trouble now, and he's going to be dropped back at the 15. There is a flag down. Arius Moore got to Paxton Lynch, and he had some company.
David Williams missed the block. That's what we were talking about, trying to make the team, right? And the thing that's been holding him back is the pass pro, and then he just whiffed there, and Paxton Lynch was dead to rights.
Taking their time to get this call right. See if it was some kind of foul on the way they sacked Paxton Lynch.
Well, you got two flags down, 2 different penalties here.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Illegal formation. Offense number 79 was covered up. That penalty is declined by rule. Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense number 50. That penalty is accepted. The ball will be moved to the 1-yard line for a retry.
Arius Moore, the rookie from NC State. And that'll give the Broncos another crack at the 2-point conversion, this time from the 1-yard line. And Steve Wilkes, the rookie head coach, wants an explanation.
Got big Brian Parker, the tight end at 6'4", matched up on a 5'9" defender down here at the bottom of the screen. Might take a shot.
Stop stealing my material. 3 receivers, top of the screen. Paxton Lynch, what are you going to do? Paxton Lynch is going to run for it. With that giant 6'7" frame, he's in for the two-point conversion.
Not just the touchdown and not just the two-point conversion, but that was an impressive drive from Paxton Lynch.
Broncos on top for the first time. You can almost see the confidence rushing back into Paxton Lynch. The touchdown pass and then the run for the two-point conversion, giving Denver the 14-7 lead. Some 90 seconds left here in the third quarter. Brandon McManus off the tee. And we send it down to Rod Mackey.
Steve, thank you. Here with Jeff Hireman. Hey, Paxton Lynch, what do you think right there? Pretty impressive, huh? Touchdown, two-point conversion.
Awesome drive. Yeah, I was happy to see him finish it off there, too, with the two-point conversion. It was good.
I know Bronco fans are happy to see you back on the football field. Between you and Jake Butt, so much talent, injuries kept you off, but now both look good to go when it mattered the most.
Yeah, you know, we're all super excited for next week. You know, can't get here fast enough. You know, you can just tell a lot of the guys on the sideline that aren't playing, you know, we're really itching. So, yeah, we're excited for next week.
The relationship that Case has had with so many players, I've talked to offense and defensive guys, and everyone says it's really helped this team get better.
Yeah, Case is, you know, he's a phenomenal player. Super smart, super athletic. Even though sometimes he doesn't look it, you know, walking down the street, you know, but yeah, he is, you know, he's extremely athletic, very smart, very talented, and we're so fortunate to have him.
You can't say that when he's not here to defend himself, though.
I'm sure I'll hear about it.
Hey, speaking of smart, we have Michigan Wolverine Brian Greasy up in the booth, and you being a Buckeye, I was wondering, you know, here's the deal. Your dad played basketball in Ann Arbor, so you know, like, hail to the victor, don't you?
What's Brian's record against Ohio State?
Won a Rose Bowl, I know that.
Undefeated.
Okay.
Undefeated, he says.
3-0.
Undefeated, 3-0.
Let your record, you know, talk. You know, that's why Jake, you know, doesn't do a whole lot of talking. You know, being 0-4, I don't know really what you're going to give me. You know, that I'm really going to listen to. So, you know, we'll let his record talk. But you know, if he won a Rose Bowl, you know, obviously, you know, that's extremely successful, and you know, he had an extremely successful career, and he's a phenomenal player. So,
Look at you.
yeah. Go Bucks.
Yeah. He's ripping Keenum, but he's nice to you, Grace. All right, hey, thanks. Send it back up to you.
Yeah, he knows who has the microphone.
Right, you get the last word. Rod, tell him who's the MVP of the Rose Bowl. He just didn't win the Rose Bowl.
I think, you know, he has a point and I have a point. I don't think he lost to Michigan either, and I didn't lose to Ohio State, so we're good.
Here's some good Bronco pressure. It's a sack and a fumble. It's picked up by Jeff Holland. Holland's second big play trying to make this team. Marcus Rush got there to knock it out.
Great effort by Rush. We haven't talked a whole lot about him. First-year player out of Michigan State, number 49. It's just an effort play. Holland makes a force step up, and then Rush pops it out. Great pressure from this third defensive line.
Rush, the first-year player out of Michigan State. He's made a good special teams play already tonight, too. It does seem like the players who need to make plays are making them tonight.
That's what you want to see, you know. He's good. Marcus Rush, his career's on the line tonight. You know, he's trying to do anything he can to get to the quarterback, and that's a big-time play in that situation.
You know, I have to check the statistics, but Vance Joseph said something really interesting and scary at the same time this morning when we met with him. He said, in your first year in the NFL, if you don't make the roster or the practice squad, you're probably done forever in the NFL. Well, I mean, that's harsh.
Yeah, that's the reality. And the reason is, you see an incomplete pass from Paxton Lynch. The reason is, if you don't make a practice squad, then you're on the street. Okay, and once you're on the street, then the next crop of talent comes in from the draft the next year. And what Vance is saying is, you know, you get forgotten and left behind.
The margin for error is so slight, and Vance knows about this because he was that player. He said he's been on the bubble. He was a bubble guy. And so, you know, he sort of lived through that. That's why we're not overhyping how important this end of this third quarter and the fourth quarter is for A lot of players on the field, not just Broncos, but the Cardinals and everybody else playing, with every team in action in the NFL tonight.
An interesting third down situation here. You get a turnover, you're in the red zone. Last drive out, Paxton Lynch went down the field and made some plays with his legs. And now how do you follow it up, right? How do you follow up with the consistency of performance at the quarterback position? You're going to get some kind of pressure here. Can you diagnose, get your team in the right play, and execute?
Off the quick change of the turnover. And now they're in 3rd and 8. Just outside the 20 of Arizona. Lynch looking for Williams, trying to look off the safeties, and Williams lowers the head and shoulder and has the first down for a gain of 9.
That's a great play by David Williams. That's all on him. Just a quick throw out there from Paxton Lynch. Really didn't read downfield, just threw the ball out there, get it out of his hand, and Williams did the rest.
You know, I said lower the head too. The penalties are way down on the new helmet rule.
Of the 3rd quarter.
Just 9 penalties last week in the 16 games in terms of the Eagle use of the helmet. So the players are figuring it out. Yeah. Maybe the officials aren't calling it as much or as tightly. 1 quarter left in the preseason finale. Come on back. With Brian Greasy and Rod Mackey, I'm Steve Levy. As we open up quarter number 4, University of Phoenix Stadium here in Glendale, Arizona. It's 105 degrees outside. You get off the plane, you get smacked in the face. Dry heat. Ha! I laugh at dry heat. 4th quarter. Here are the Broncos knocking on the door for the 10. Paxton Lynch, end zone, touchdown, Matt Lacoste. There is a flag. We'll check the marker. This could be against the defense.
Holding defense number 42. That penalty's declined. The result of the play is a touchdown.
That's A.J. Howard, and the Broncos will add to their lead.
We talked about David Williams in pass protection. Watch this pickup. This is textbook. You're going to get a blitzing linebacker right up in the A-gap. Does a nice job giving Paxton Lynch time. And then Matt Lacoste. We talked about it in the open. He's competing for that 3rd tight end position. He's known more as that receiving option behind Hireman and Butt, but between him and Parker, that competition is real, and a nice play.
Really good hands there to bring that ball in. All those Big Ten tight ends on the Broncos, on the club, and trying to make it. 21-7 Denver. Tonight's Broncos Flashback is brought to you by CarMax. The NFL resumed their scheduled games after the events of 9/11 on the 23rd of September. The Broncos were on the road here in Arizona to play the Cardinals. After an emotional pregame, the Broncos and Cardinals took the field. Arizona would take a 10-0 lead, but the Broncos would roar back. He said roar back. Brian Greasy, 3 touchdown passes, cruising to a 38-17 win. I thought it was great protection there by the offensive line, too.
I remember that game, and really the only reason I remember that game is because it really was emotional. That was just a different game than I think any of us athletes had ever played before coming off of that disaster.
Well, that national anthem must have been out of control. Here's Mike Kliss joining us in the booth as the hits just keep on coming for John Elway.
Hey, what's going on?
You can follow up John Elway, right?
Yeah, why not? All right. John gave you this the song and dance, and now I'll tell you who's going to.
You're going to tell us the truth. You're going to tell us the truth.
Has Paxton Lynch changed your opinion? Any 2 touchdown passes here tonight? Any thoughts on him?
Yeah, I think going into this game, Paxton Lynch had a chance. The thinking being that as a number 3 quarterback, is there a better number 3 for the Broncos in the league? You can get a veteran who's cautious, has experience, probably not great experience, or a kid who's out there who's a prospect. Is that better than Paxton Lynch? On the other hand, do you want to cut the cord with Paxton Lynch and move on a little bit? So I think today, Paxton Lynch, it's a chance. He just won himself a roster spot.
You think, Mike, that they are going to keep 3 quarterbacks no matter what? I mean, the philosophy of keeping 2 versus 3?
You know, they've always here's the thing. They've kept 3 the last 3, 4, 5 years. And so I think they will again. There's some uncertainty with the number 2.
Yeah.
You know, Chad Kelly has no experience. Do you want Paxton Lynch would have a little experience behind him?
They've kept 3 when they haven't had a real 1, right? Isn't that a big part of that? Now they have a clear-cut 1, so you would think maybe it's less important to keep 3. And the other option you didn't put out on the table yet is, is there still another veteran around the league who would do better in the second or third spot?
Yeah, and I don't think they're going to go there. And because you saw with Bridgewater required a trade, Brett Hundley required a trade. I don't think Elway wants to give up a draft pick. He will look at the scrap heap that will come available Saturday and then Sunday. But, I do think that right now it's, Paxton Lynch didn't hurt himself tonight.
You got to feel good for him. He's been through so much. Yeah. And whether you like him or not, you want him here or not, I've been on record that I think that they should make a clean break with him.
And they might still.
Because I think it's good for him, too, to be totally honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, as long as he's here, he's going to be reminded locally in Denver that he was a first-round draft pick who didn't get worked out. If he goes somewhere else, he's a promising prospect with a clean slate.
Well, he gets booed before he even gets on the field against the Bears.
All right, we got to step out. There's a marker down. Well, put one out of bounds.
I just know this from my experience. Sometimes a fresh start, is helpful too, especially at that position.
Yeah, I do think that Paxton, though, is ready to hang it out. I'll give him credit. When he got demoted to number 3, he's played better the last 2 or 3 weeks.
First down. Timeout.
Sense of urgency.
Mike, can you hang around a little longer?
Sure.
Got something better going on? No?
No, I'm good. Just deadline.
We'll be right back. Sunday mornings this fall, have breakfast with the Broncos on Game Day Live. Rod Mackey and Mike Kliss preview the Broncos matchup with one-on-one interviews and analysis. They'll be joined by Sam Adams and the voice of the Denver Broncos, Dave Logan. Game Day Live kicks off Sunday morning, September the 9th, 9 a.m. only on 9 News. What are you serving for breakfast,
I was going to say, thanks for the plug.
What are you cooking up for breakfast?
Usually just black coffee is all we need on a Sunday morning.
My kind of guy. Yeah. D'Angelo Henderson, the ball carrier for a gain of 6. What do you remember exactly a year ago at this point? So the Broncos are working their way to its 4-0 preseason.
Yeah.
Got off to a great start. And compared to, they're not going to be 4-0 this preseason. No one cares about the wins and losses. You feel better about this team than last year?
Yeah, and Case Keenum has really made the big difference. I think it's Case and the kids. It's a real good rookie class with Bradley Chubb. Royce Freeman, I think he's got a chance to be the starting running back on opening day against Seattle. Cortland Sutton's been out of sight in the preseason and in training camp. It's really given a lift. But it all starts with Case Keenum. The team seems to believe in him. Von Miller, Bradley Chubb. If Keenum can get him a lead, the defense is kind of made up to rush the passer. Yes. That's their strength.
Right.
So with a lead, Von Miller might be able to go off a little more this year.
What about the addition of Adam Jones? What does that mean for Isaiah?
Well, it puts him in a tough position, although he's fighting back tonight too, isn't he? With a couple of nice a return that was called back and a nice catch and run. But I think that puts him in trouble. I thought the Adam Jones move signified that John Elway believes this is a good team.
Yep.
When you bring in a guy like that, you don't bring in a guy to go 8-8. You bring in a guy like Adam Jones as a final piece to go to the playoffs.
I think the division is so uncertain.
Yeah.
DeAndrew White making his first catch tonight. Because of the division being so uncertain, that puts the Broncos in position to take a shot.
I think when Kansas City let go of Alex Smith and they're giving it the team to the kid, Patrick Mahomes, I think that gave the other teams a chance. Now, Mahomes might be great. He might be the second coming of NFL quarterbacks. But for now, he's untested. He's unproven. And I think that's one reason why the Broncos went after it with Case Keenum.
On the ground.
All right, we're putting you on record, Mike. What's your prognostication? What's the record of the Broncos at the end of the season?
Well, internally, they think they can flip it. They don't say it, but I know at
11-5.
they think they can flip it from 5-11 to 11-5.
That's quite a flip.
In 1990, they were 5-11. The next year, they went 12-4. Elway pointed that out to me on the pregame show.
Everybody in Denver will be doing flips if that happens.
I'm just saying 8-8. I'm going to go cautious and straddle the fence and be kind of a wimp.
That's kind of like you.
Yeah, which is 3 games better than last year, but still want to see it. Will you ask me after the first 2 home games?
No, that's cheating.
Okay.
We have seen quick flips though, right? The Eagles a couple of years ago were last place team in the NFC East.
Well, the NFL every year it's first to worst and worst to first,
right?
And the Broncos are halfway there.
Grease, did you want to give out your prediction at this point?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm a little bit more optimistic. I like 9-7, and potentially 10-6. And a big reason why is what we talked about the AFC West. I don't think the Kansas City is going to be anywhere near the same team without Alex Smith and without Matt Nagy. I think the Raiders are a mess, and I think the Chargers are probably the best team right now on paper in the division, but we always play well against the Chargers.
I thought the Raiders with Gruden and Carr, that was really going to be the difference. In fact, I had them picked for most of the offseason as winning the AFC West. But now with Khalil Mack and their defense is terrible,
right,
that they're very vulnerable.
You got Broncos get the first 2 at home. Those are 2 winnable games. Seattle and the Raiders coming in.
Yeah, I mean 1-1 at minimum, but you'd like to go 2-0 on that. Everybody says Seattle's down this year. And again with the Raiders, that's why I say ask me after the first 2 games. They cannot, can they? Go 0-2. They can't go 0-2.
Hey, I want to ask you quickly before we leave after this kick about Vance Joseph. What's different about Vance Joseph than last year?
Much more confident. Is McManus perfect on the preseason?
No, not even close. That was from 58. We'll cut him a break from 58.
All right. Vance is better. He's got his own staff and seems to have Elway's trust.
Okay. Broncos insider Mike Kliss. We'll see you every single TV station, every single show, every radio show, every newspaper, all Broncos all the time.
Thank you.
Mike Kliss. 1.5 to play in this preseason finale. Broncos and Cardinals wrapping up the preseason head-to-head for the 12th time in the last 14 years. Denver enjoying a 21-7 lead. Cardinals with the football. Just shy of midfield. Charles Kanoff off the play fake. Across the middle, able to complete to Andrew Ballert. Gain of 14. Here's Rod Mackey.
Steve, thank you, because Jeff Hireman didn't make me look small enough. We brought in Jared Valdir. Hey, first of all, how excited are you to be a part of this team? I know you're one of the new guys. They were looking to make the offensive upgrade on that line, and you've provided that.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm excited to be here and looking forward to week 1.
Everyone talks about the line being the team within the team. When did you guys kind of start to click to get that chemistry together?
I think when you hit mid-training camp and you get in those dog days, I think that's really when you come together as a group.
One thing we saw last year is they didn't keep the starting 5 together. There was a lot of rotation, a lot of movement. This year, with the exception of Max Garcia, who's kind of come in with Ron Leary as well, it's really been the same group throughout.
Yeah, it's been nice, and we've been able to kind of get in a groove together and really gel.
This is kind of a tough time for you guys, too. More tough for John Elway and Vance Joseph, but a lot of these guys that you've played alongside with since way back in OTAs and all the offseason stuff are going to be gone in a couple days. You've been in the league around time, but that's probably always a tough time for you.
Yeah, it's one of the least fun days, and it's tough, and you hope the best for everybody, and the good thing is a lot of guys get picked up and careers continue.
Final thing for you, just how excited are you to get this thing going? I know we talked to a couple of the other starters, and they admit they're just chomping at the bit to get that Seattle game here.
Oh yeah, I'm ready to go for Seattle. It's nice coming out of the playing in the NFC West for 4 years, and then starting here with a former division opponent that'll be fun, and to have it be at home too. That's always fun.
Good place to start, Jared. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Okay, guys, we'll send it back to you.
Rod, thank you. It's a homecoming of sorts for Valdir. Came over in a trade from these Cardinals to the Broncos, the coaching staff, and VJ said, hate to think where we'd be without him.
Yeah.
Solidifying the right tackle, which has been a problem spot on this Broncos offensive line.
Been a revolving door. That's what it's been.
I was trying to be kind. He went with revolving door.
Let's be accurate.
Oh, that big accuracy. Jalen Tolliver has a first down catch for the Cardinals. Good for 21.
You know, while Valdir was doing that interview, we saw a nice play from Alexander Johnson. We haven't really called his name a bunch, but the recent signee at the linebacker position, who I think would be a perfect candidate for the practice squad. Wouldn't be surprised if his name pops up on that. But yeah, Valdir has to stay healthy. Like, this offensive line has to stay healthy in general. I mean, Billy Turner's a good player, but it's pretty thin after that front five.
Dare you say that's the key to the season, is this offensive line?
Well, it was the key to last season.
The key for it going wrong.
Correct.
There's another play. It's Kashad Lyons. And it's a loss of 9. Broncos have been getting to the quarterback, regardless of who's in there at quarterback for the Cards.
Yeah, I've been really encouraged by this backup defensive line. Deshaun Williams, Lyons, Jeff Holland has been in, Derek Rush. I mean, we've had a lot of names called getting to the quarterback.
Pushing back to outside beyond the 25-yard line now. 2nd and 19 as we approach 6 minutes to play in the preseason. And then it all counts. It's for real. And it will be fabulous. 2 to snap, they get it away. Making people miss out there. Corey Willis, the rookie out of Central Michigan, with his first grab. It's a gain of 8 on the play. 3rd down.
Look at that effort from that defensive front. You think it doesn't matter to those guys?
No, it does. There's no question. To these guys, they know.
Got DeMonte Thomas still in there, the safety playing at the linebacker position.
He played so well last week. Here's 3rd and 10. More pressure on the quarterback. And that skips off the turf. Deshaun Williams had some more pressure. Hey, while we have a second here, just want to say thanks to our great crew from 9 News putting these games together during the preseason. Graphics, Mike Boyd. Our 9 News engineer in charge, Bill Boyer. Technical director, Luke Rosenmeyer. Our director, you know him as BP, Brian Peters. Our terrific producer, Doug Moreno. Coordinating producers, these guys do it all. Jerry Vancini and John Kurt.
Johnny.
46-yard field goal on the way. Off the upright and through, and it's good. Did I leave anybody out? Can't think. Did I leave anybody out?
Tim Dietz.
Tim
Dietz brings it all together. And you, bud. We've enjoyed having you for the first time on these Broncos broadcasts. You've done a great job, pal.
Thank you very much. So I'll see you what? I'll see you in 8-9 months or
8-9 hours.
Don't wake me on the plane.
College football coming our way. Right off the inside of that upright. What's going to be your memory of your first Broncos preseason broadcast?
The bus rides over to the stadium.
You like the escort with the police? Is that what you like?
I like going 7 hours before the game. Some of these stadiums are in the middle of nowhere. Bronco fans are very lucky. The Broncos Field a Mile High is located where it is.
Listen, if Von Miller could go 5 hours before the game on the bus, you can go as well.
Yeah. I mean, Glendale is not close to Phoenix, and Landover is not close to Washington, D.C. Here's Brandon Langley. This is the first time I called his name all night. Langley with a chance for a little spark. And they're out just shy of the 30. It's a 28-yard return. Brandon Langley. Some prominent Denver Broncos called it quits this week. There's Julius Thomas. 4 seasons with the Broncos. Eric Decker had a tryout with the Patriots, gave it a go in New England. And then Elvis Dumerville had a very thoughtful tweet today on social media thanking fans in the Denver area and in Baltimore as well where he was a terrific player, 63.5 sacks.
Look at that, 105 career sacks for Elvis Dumervil. What an amazing career for a guy that was written off so many times just because of his size.
The 63.5 were just in a Broncos uniform.
That's kind of unique, those three guys this week. I just saw Burt Berry in the hallway at halftime. Great Bronco defensive end. Kind of reminded me of the way he played the game of Elvis Dumervil. Burt's now doing the radio broadcast for the Cardinals. What a great guy he is.
Second down and 8 for Paxton Lynch. Just joining us, has a couple of touchdown passes and ran in for a 2-point conversion. Dave Williams is dropped for a loss of 2 by Edmund Robinson. You know, we're talking a lot about Case Keenum, and Sam Bradford is in the building. He will be the starting quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals. You know, if Bradford doesn't get hurt in Minnesota last year, and the opportunity is not there for Case Keenum, and to show his stuff and show he's a top-notch NFL quarterback, earning a $36 million payday with the Broncos. So these things are all tied together. You see Josh Rosen, the future of the Cardinals, the 10th overall pick from this past NFL draft. He wanted to play tonight, did not have many reps in this preseason, but he will sit behind Sam Bradford.
And these two teams will play against each other in the regular season.
Right.
And, you know, this Arizona team, I don't think has the firepower or the skill of the Broncos. And so, you know, the Broncos season, you know, I think their schedule is one of the easier schedules in professional football. So it's set up for them.
Yep.
Really, I don't believe that Mike Kliss's flip-flop, okay, but
11-5.
But 9-5, 10-6 are doable.
My people have it as the Broncos having the 5th easiest strength of schedule.
Yeah, I believe that.
And that Week 7 game is right here in this building, and that's a Thursday night football game. So the Broncos and Cardinals will be seen by the nation. Marquette King the punt. Corey Willis is back deep. They'll pick it up at the 7-yard line. That might be King's finest effort of the night. We'll check on the coverage. And some good coverage there on the punt by Trey Marshall. It's a 58-yard punt. C.J. Smith was there as well. Here's tonight's play of the game. It's brought to you by Comcast Xfinity.
Yeah, and capped a nice drive from Paxton Lynch. Rolling to his left. That was not an easy throw. And Jordan Leslie quietly had a really nice game tonight. I think he's going to be on the outside looking in, but certainly putting some good reps on tape for some other teams looking for some wide receiver help.
Coming up on the 2-minute warning.
It's going to be a run the ball fest. These two teams trying to get out of here without any injuries.
On the ground, it's Darius Victor, who was on the practice squad a year ago, just signed this week at a Towson. Good for 17 yards there. And, you know, Grease, on both sidelines, there are players, I think, who know right now, like, they did not get the opportunity they wanted, or when it came, they didn't make the play that they wanted to make.
2-minute warning.
And they might, as you said, they're going to run this out. We're at the 2-minute warning in Glendale. And in the preseason, both the Broncos and the Cardinals. 2-minute warning here in Glendale. And the Broncos looking to get out of here healthy and with a 2-2 preseason record. The Cardinals, and here come the penalties. We were saying during the break, it was
offense number 80.
fast-moving game.
Still first down.
Let's see if the penalties pile up. That's on Bryce Williams, the tight end for the Cardinals. So, you know, I asked Mike Kliss about the difference from a year ago. You have any thoughts? At this point, exactly 1 year ago, we know what the season transpired to turn out and be. Got up to the big start, then the 8-game losing streak, and why should this season be different?
Yeah, I think Mike hit on the big ones, Case Keenum. I'll go a little bit deeper than that. I'm really excited to see these 4 wide receivers work. You know, and I think that Emmanuel Sanders and Demaryius Thomas have been re-energized. Honestly, I think they're getting pushed by Deshaun Hamilton and Cortland Sutton.
Yep.
And if I'm Case Keenum, listen, I only have one ball, right? And there's 4 guys that deserve to get the ball. And who's going to be reliable? I'm really excited to see this passing game kind of flourish. And then once that kind of establishes itself, can Royce Freeman be that back between the tackles to take advantage when teams have to play coverage to stop Keenum and the wideouts?
Aqib Talib sort of fired a parting shot on his way out of town, something along the lines that they got rid of the dogs, and now people think dogs in a positive manner. And now with Adam Jones coming in, Von Miller was quick to say, hey, we got some dogs. And we mean that in the best way, and that's a big compliment. So the defense looks fired up and aggressive, especially that front 7, Grease.
Defensively, I'm really excited to see what Joe Woods, the defensive coordinator, has up his sleeve, because he has some pieces now that he hasn't had before that can work together. Von on one side, Chubb on the other. You got Domata in the middle, and you're able to rotate some pass rushers, some third down, NASCAR packages to get after the quarterback. This front 7 is better this year than it was a year ago, and I'm excited to see kind of how those pieces fit together.
Really have to believe a handful of the backups in the front 7 could start some other places. I mean, that is the kind of wealth of talent the Broncos have in that defensive front 7.
I am worried. I am worried about the secondary. I know you go get Adam Jones, but he's 35 years old. Okay, if I'm a quarterback, right, and I'm coming to play the Broncos, if I've got time to throw the football, which is a big if, that's the first guy I'm going after. Okay, and then if you put Yadam in there, I'm going after him. Right? I'm not throwing the ball on Chris Harris and on Bradley Roby. I'm finding the weak spots, so that has to solidify itself.
Pretty sound in the kicking game. Brandon McManus missed just 1 kick in the preseason, and that was tonight from 57 yards away. We'll find out very soon about the all-important backup quarterback position. Although Paxton Lynch did himself proud tonight, Chad Kelly looked good as well, likely solidifying that number 2 spot. Still a lot of questions to be answered.
That was the perfect preseason game right there. Done in less than 3 hours, and nobody got hurt. I mean, nothing better than that.
Yep. And it's a bonus, and it doesn't matter to you. The Broncos win the game, too. And winning any time has to be a good thing. And they hand the Cardinals their first loss of this preseason. Next time you see Von Miller, he'll be wearing shoulder pads, people. He'll be fired up and ready to go. Rod Mackey is fired up and ready to go also.
Guys, thank you. Well, you had talked about how Paxton, you wanted him to make a decision tough for you and John. He came out, played his heart out tonight.
He played good football. He moved our offense into the end zone tonight, and he took care of the ball, so I was pleased with Paxton.
Who else kind of impressed you in this final preseason game? Because there were guys with a lot on the line playing for careers and guys who seemed to have good games.
I thought Henderson played inspired tonight. I mean, he ran the ball downhill. He ran big. He made guys miss. He played good football, but our young guys played well all preseason. We got better and better each week, and it's nice to finish with 2 road wins and to see our team come together.
Final question for you, Coach. How tough is the next 24, 48 hours for you? Because you know the effort these guys have put in, and this is a dream, and for some, that dream's about to come to an end.
Absolutely. It's the hardest part of the job. Every guy that's been with us for the last 6 months, deserves to be here, but everyone can't be here, obviously. So it's a tough weekend for us, but it's part of the business.
Vance, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Okay. Right. Guys, we'll send it back up to you.
Rod, thank you. Clearly, it's a numbers game, and you're a good NFL team when you're cutting NFL players, guys that will make other rosters. That speaks to your talent level. The Broncos have that. We'll come back to finishing wraps on the preseason after this.